Hey everybody, so in this video, I am just going to do a very quick recap on Netflix and their Q1 results and Q2 forecast. So what they actually got for paid net additions, which was the really important thing that brought this stock tumbling, was that we got negative zero point 0.2 million in their paid net additions. Now they were expecting 2.5 million, and what they actually got a year ago from the same quarter was 4 million. So this has come down significantly. Now, the impact of Russia was actually zero point 0.7 million. So if we take this out, we are comparing zero point 0.5 million to 4 million last year. And we were also comparing zero point 0.5 million to the guidance of 2.5 million. So they're way off guidance. And they're also way off the last year's numbers. So this is kind of a for concern. Now, what's even more concerning is that they said their Q2 forecast is going to be even worse. So now they say for Q2 2022, we forecast paid net additions of negative 2 million. And this is versus 1.5 million the prior year's quarter. So they're saying that our forecast assumes our current trend to persist plus typical seasonality. So if we're just looking at seasonality, I mean, it definitely comes in weaker because, right here we have 1.5 million and right up here we had 4 million from the prior year. So now they're expecting significant negative growth. So definitely worrisome. Now, let's actually look at the share price right now. So we've been in this strong downtrend, and we've had several gaps down. So now where are we right now? Let me just zoom in on the 1 year time frame. Now, price action has gone sideways for such a long time that this 50-day moving average has actually come all the way down to 184.33. Now, we are actually currently above that number. We're at 189.11. Now, let me just zoom out for you guys a little further here. We're kind of trading in no man's land right now. So if I'm looking for the next support on another strong leg down, I'm looking at 130. Now, let's say we actually get some pretty bullish news, and let's just say that subscriber growth isn't as negative as we thought for Q2. Let's say maybe it even comes in positive. And let's also say that Q3 forecast isn't looking as bad. So what could happen in that scenario? Well, I think we could actually go up and fill this gap. And I'm not saying that we could just fill that all in one day. I'm thinking that that could just happen over time. So this gap is actually looking at 247.57, and the top of this gap is right at 331.26. So that's a pretty significant move. So let's take a look at the expected move for next week. Now, just to remind you guys, the expected move is basically what the options market is pricing in for the weeklies. So if I'm just looking at the weeklies that expire on July 22nd, then we're expecting a move of about $29 to the upside or to the downside from where we currently are. So let's just take a look at where we are right now. Let's bring up the calculator. So $29 to the upside, what's that going to be? It's going to be right around 218. Now, if we're looking at the downside, let's do 189 minus 29. We're looking at 160. So basically 160 to 218 is our expected move for next week. Now, let's just take a quick look at the PE. So if we're looking at the PE here, right now Netflix is trading at about 17 PE. Now, this is pretty darn low. We have to go all the way back to 2012 to see these kind of levels, or actually 2011. So we're going to have to go all the way back to 2011 to see this kind of PE ratio. So we're significantly sold off right now. Now let's just kind of look at Netflix and their subscriber growth. So the reason why the last quarter's earnings was so important is because we actually got this inflection point. So if we're just looking right here, all the way from 2013, we've basically been seeing subscriber growth, just nonstop subscriber growth. All of a sudden, going from Q4 to Q1, for the first time in a long time, we saw negative subscriber growth. So here you can see 221.84 million, 221.64 million. So this is a inflection to the downside, and we're expecting further downside on the next quarter's reading. And of course, we're going to see FX continue to cause problems just because the dollar has been rallying so much. So what Bank of America is expecting is a 267 million headwind for revenues. So that's definitely some of the stuff that we're paying attention to on Netflix earnings. So definitely be cautious on this one. Netflix tends to have crazy moves on earnings, and you could just tell from the premiums that are attached. So let's just look at the premiums real quick. Just go into the options chain. If we're looking at the money, then yeah, look, I mean, basically for 1 week, we're looking at $13.50 for calls and $14.15 for puts. So that's quite a bit of premium just attached to 1 week. So that just tells you that the volatility is definitely there on Netflix earnings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great one.